My name is Yona Bromberg now, born in Rokitna in 1940 to a mother and father by the name of Rachel and Moshe Wasserman. And my father was not lucky to run away. He was killed there with my brother. The Germans came, took all the Jewish people to the market. They said they have to count them. They had machine guns all around the market. At the market, people were separated. Men and boys were on the right side of the market, women and girls were on the left side of the market. One woman all of a sudden looked around and she realized that the market is surrounded with machine guns. She yelled, "Iden ankläuft, mir geht uns Argenen." And then the panic started and everybody started to run. We ran. My mom ran holding me as a baby on her hand, and beside her was her other daughter, my sister, 12 years old. And they ran. And they ran. They didn't know where. After running for a while, they saw a farmer's house. They decided to run into the barn. They ran into the barn and they were hiding there for a while. While they were in the barn, they heard a horse and carriage came. The farmer, his wife, and children came from the town. They had a lot of stuff that they brought on their wagon, full with stuff that the Jewish people left in town. So they were going from house and house, whatever they could grab, they grabbed. They put everything in the house. My mother stayed with me, were holding my mouth shut. I shouldn't cry or shouldn't say anything. And my sister beside her, they were very quiet. And they heard that the farmer said to his wife, "Unload everything," in Ukrainian, "and let's go again." And they left. And so they went twice or three times. Then at the last time, when they came already and they unloaded, my mother was afraid to stay in the barn because she figured that the farmer is going to put the horses back in the farm. He's going to feed the horses. Then he might find us. So she went out and we went to the field. In the field that was hay stacked like pyramids. To hide would be very good. So she made a big hole in one stack of hay and pushed in my sister. Then she made another hole in another stack of hay, put herself with me in there, and we stayed there. She decided to stay there till it will be really, really quiet. When everybody is sleeping, the farmer is sleeping, his wife, then she will go out and run. And we stayed there for a long time. Then, in the deepest of the night, my mom went out of the hay there, took my sister out from the other stack, and we ran in deep into the woods. There was another gentleman there, a priest and a gentleman. His name was Caesar. He was preaching in the church to all his community. And he told them, "Do not close the doors on the people that are coming to ask for help. He preached them. He said, help them. But if you can't help them, at least open the door and tell them a good word. They were good people. This person, Caesar, told us one day, he came in deep in the woods, and he told my mom, he said, take your 2 children and go away. Go far, far deep into the woods, because tomorrow night the Germans are coming into the village. They will not come to the woods to look for your people, but they are sending the Ukrainians, and they are going to kill you. So run, because the Germans are offering the Ukrainians for each Jewish head 2 kilograms of salt. So the Ukrainians took sacks and a hex. They went in deep into the woods. Wherever they find a Jew, they cut off the head, put in the sack, went to the village. The Germans gave them salt. Salt was a very good article during the war. And then it was cold. It was winter. I, as a baby, did not have clothes. I was hungry. I was crying. So she said, Taibale, if you are going to cry, they are going to hear us and they are going to kill us all. Stop crying. I didn't stop. So what she did, we passed through a river. It was winter, cold. She took my barefooted, my body, my feet that did not have shoes, put my feet in the cold, ice-cold water, and she said, Taibale, if you are not going to stop crying, I am going to throw you into that water. And she said, like magic, you stopped crying. And we survived. We ran, nobody cut us. And we ran till we went out of that danger. But then we met another danger. We heard one day machine guns. Now at that time, my mother was there, my sister, myself, and there were another 4 people with us, also survivors. 2 boys, 3. One is here, actually 4 people was with us. And we all were sitting and everybody was talking, and they were talking about good things. And what are the good things? Food. They were talking about baked potatoes and chunt and all the good stuff, of course, because we were all hungry. All of a sudden, there were machine guns. And everybody got so scared, everybody crawled out from there and ran. My mother, too. Everybody ran. They left me. I was 3 years old. I crawled out after them. But because everybody ran and I was smished, everybody didn't know, I cried. I didn't know where everybody is. Everybody ran away. I ran to the wrong side of the hall. There was one side that to go out, and one side we used as a toilet. We were only people. Everybody used. Me, as a baby, I ran to the wrong side. Can you imagine what happened? I don't laugh. I did fall in to, excuse me for a phrase, to the shit that was there for months and months. Of course, I cried even harder. Now then, everybody, my mother realized that it wasn't machine guns. It was thunder. Thunder. And the thunder sounded to everybody like machine guns. My mother just realized that she forgot me. She came back running. Taibale, Taibale, my kind, where are you? Where are you, my little baby? She came back and I was crying and she came there. And she took me out of there. And I remember like today, she says, I am so sorry, it's my fault, but remember, this is so mazeldik. It is so lucky. You are going to be the luckiest person in the whole world. I guess I am a little bit lucky. I am a lot lucky. I am alive. We were in the woods for, I said, till after the war. When the Russians came in and the Germans wasn't there, started to go out from our town, Caesar, the person that was in touch with us and other Jewish people that he helped, came and said, you can go now. Take your kids and go. My mother walked all the way back for hours and hours and hours from the woods. She came into town. She says, when we came into town, I was holding you on my hand. You were very tiny because for 18 months you didn't eat. You didn't grow. You grow the other way. Very tiny. But the Polacks, the people that lived in town, came over and surrounded her, and they couldn't believe her. They recognized her, but they couldn't believe that she brought a baby back to the town. They came and they touched me because they didn't think I am alive. I was the only baby from the whole town. There were 3,000 people in that town. That was a shtetl from 3,000 Jewish people. And I was the only baby surviving there. After the war, in a long time after the war, in the 60s, I'm 1960 already. After the war, my mother met one of her friends that left her son under a tree, and she went away. She told my mother to leave me. My mother didn't. She survived, but her son didn't. I survived. This woman came over to my mother and said, Rachel, I take my head up for you. You did a wonderful thing. I am cursed. I am very cursed. I can't sleep at night. I am a sick person because of that. You did the right thing. And by that, after the war, I wrote a poem. Imi, which means my mother. Imi zichrona livracha. What a brave woman she was. She wanted to bring her two daughters to Israel, to the land of Israel. And this she did. She brought them both to Israel. But to see the next generation, she didn't. She did not have the strength. She wasn't strong enough for that. My mother was not strong. She couldn't help it. She was a survivor, and she couldn't take it. It was hard. Hard for her, all the war, and she passed away very young. But I'll always remember the heroine Jewish mother.
Das Kind, der Herz ist ihm verklemmt. Kommt in a großen Wand. Happiness of mein Kind,